Hello, hi. My name's Aliki Blythe. I am here under the auspices of the National Theatre. I'm a playwright. I'll be coming along next Friday to kind of document your demonstration. I'm interested in, Tim, something you mentioned about you've been advised to be prepared to be arrested, even though it will be a peaceful demonstration next Friday. Can any of you talk about how do you prepare? Is that a mental preparation for, what immediately might happen? Is there a practical steps you take for any of you that have been in those situations before? Is that a mindset thing? I mean, yeah, it just sounds, knowing that with the laws getting more draconian, how the courage that you all have to go on these demonstrations these days. It's just really struck me hearing you all talk. I've never properly thought about it, but I have now, because it's real, right?
That's a really good question. I mean, people interpret non-violence in different ways, but I think a really important aspect of non-violence, as I understand it, is that nobody's getting manipulated into doing anything they don't want to do. And that means they need good information about what might happen before they do something. Because I think, if you're asking people to do something and they don't know what the risk is, well, that's a sort of emotional violence, particularly if it's young people. So it's really essential people are prepared. And yes, I guess that's partly psychologically. A lot of it's practical too. I mean, if we're arrested on Friday afternoon, maybe that people aren't released till the early hours. So if you've got young kids, well, who's going to meet them from school? Who's going to put food on the table? There are other things, like if you bring your phone and your phone is seized by the police, does that compromise other people on your group chats? Because we've seen evidence of that happening in situations where people are being treated like organized criminals. So do you really want to bring your phone at all,
Oh, I see.
for
Yeah.
example? um, and then also understanding what the risks might be longer term. And just to give one thing that we're aware of, some of the high profile people who do care about this campaign but work in the US, maybe because they work in the film industry. Well, does an arrest mean they don't get the visa to the US, for example? So I'm not trying to cover it all here, but I'm just trying to give a sense of the sort of things people do have to think about, because it is not a minor thing for everyone.
Mm. Okay, thank you.
Can I just speak to that as well? Because that Mums March was the first time I've been arrested, and there were 25 of us, mums and grandmothers. And I think for each one of us, it was extremely frightening. But as Tim said, we were well prepared. We were well prepared for the probability of arrest, because we wanted to get as far as Downing Street, and police arrested us halfway down Whitehall. But getting onto the road, you are a quivering wreck, because for many of us, it's the first time we'd transgressed. Most of us hadn't even had a detention. So the thing about the phone, it is something we all thought about. We all took a book because that passes the time. Just Uphold is really good because you have a lot of training in non-violence direct action. So you kind of knew how to behave just to be passive on the arrest and as compliant as you could be, not to cause any trouble. But it is all very, very shocking. And in the cell, you suddenly understand what it is to feel the weight of the state against you for the first time. And you feel humbled for the people, you're there semi-voluntarily, when other people who sat in that cell before you have had their life suppressed by, oppressed by the weight of the state. So it's very much like that. But another good thing that, as Tim said, you can be released at any time from that police cell. And Just Up will always ensure that they know who's been arrested, they know where they've been taken, and they ensure they've got people outside the police station until everyone has been released from that station, whether it's 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the morning. So you know that you're safe, but it's also just terrifying.
Yeah.
If that helps.
No, thank you.
I would just add as well that more and more we've had to prepare for raids on arrests as well. We've seen that increase dramatically. That even people doing what we'd consider lower level actions, so the repercussions you consider lower level, that they will send people around to people's houses, and it's good for people to inform the people that they live with of what their rights are in those situations, and how to deal with that. Because when you are under arrest, the police do have a power to raid your homes, and we're seeing more and more they're choosing to exercise that power that they have.